been part of the conversation with some adults in the community saying, we don't feel that our kids are getting a fair shake here. The first report that came out in October said, we don't feel students of color, low-income students, ELL students, including the largest group of ELL students, who are from African countries, are getting a fair shake here. So that is the reason that I mentioned that grouping within the ELL population here. And I can see from your reaction that you thought it was really unfair. And I'm certainly going to take that to heart when I write about this again. But I wanted to let you know where that was coming from. It was an effort to respond to the dialogue in these two reports, and respond to adults in the community who are concerned about outcomes that differ by group. And that doesn't mean everyone with the characteristic has that outcome, but that is a trend within this school. And some people want that to change, and that's what we're writing about.
But do you understand why people think that is unfair, though? Because there are so many different people that go to this school, and I understand what you're saying, that the largest amount of refugees come from Africa, but at the same time, I'm sure if you added up all the other populations of people who come from different countries, it wouldn't even match half of the amount of African students that are in the school. And to categorize and take just one group is that's an awful thing, and it's really offensive to many people. I don't even take ELL classes, and I was offended by this. After reading the reports, I realized this was going to be a huge issue, obviously, to pretty much profile one group of people when there's many different groups.
Just like based on what Mo was saying, I don't take ESL classes too, but I feel like what's hurting the ESL kids is hurting me too because it's part of who I am. So I'm just wondering, like, where do you leave the white kids? Like, I mean, the rich kids in that category, because I know you mentioned all the lower ones. So where are those, like, well, the rich kids are? Like, do they just automatically pass the test because they have more knowledge and they're rich and all that kind of? Did they just pass the test, or didn't you realize, like, I don't know, just like when you go and take certain words and putting it out there, it's really bringing more problems. It's not solving anything. No matter how many times you say, oh, we try to put this out there so people can see what's really going, it's just bringing more stuff. I would appreciate it for you to at least like say that, like, especially the African groups, and then have reason to it. You're like, you know, the reason is because they have been here for like one day and they have to take that test. Like, you have kids have to take it. They don't even know where to put their name, even if it's written right there. It says name. They don't know where to put it. Just like Christmas said, they're looking from left to right. Like, should I say yes or should I say no? That's not our fault. So for you to just say those words, like, I would appreciate for you to just be like, the reason for this is because they have been here and this is what's going on, you know? I'm pretty sure people would have understood it much better than for you to just go and just say things, you know?
Well, I think that's a very valid point, and in fact, the story did include some discussion of that. The second report talked about how measuring graduation rates, a four-year rate based on the basis of, race and income might be incomplete, and I included the author of that report's comments saying about how when people come to Burlington High School and they're learning a new language, it might take more than 4 years, and that should probably, in his view, be reasonable. So I think we did write about that a little bit in the story, but from what I'm hearing from you, you want us to write more about that, and I think that's a valid point. There are a lot of complicated issues as we follow this debate, and writing more about some of the issues that play into these scores is certainly a valid detriment.